Hi everybody, Mary from Blooming Rose Healing. And I want to apologize about missing Wednesday, but I'm doing it still, and then I'll put it on next week. By next week on Wednesday, I'll be back in Chicago in the beautiful wintry weather. But I've been out here in the Cancun area in Mexico and just enjoying the beautiful ocean and the beautiful sound of the ocean, the rhythm, just kind of slowing it down a little. I went, and it was, through New Year's Eve, because now this will probably go out next week. But it's interesting. I want to talk a little about, there was a Orca who gave birth, and this is her second time around, and she actually gave birth on Christmas Eve. And everybody was really excited because this is the same Orca that lost her baby a few years back and carried her baby for 17 days while she was grieving. And unfortunately, this baby, the second baby of this Orca, had also passed, and it was on New Year's Eve. It lived 1 week. And being here, I don't know, I mean, obviously that just really touched my heart, being so connected to the energies of whales and the breath, and how life is so much about breath. But also being close to the ocean and what's really happening out there, and what is this message that is being sent to us from these whales. And it's not just that experience, it's the beaching. There's a lot of whales washing up and on the shores. And I just feel like for us to really, as humanity, as human, as connection, what's really going on? What's really happening? And what do we need to do to really step into a place of change? Of how do we want this world to really be, to share this world with all living beings. I'm not going to get into the whole global warming and because I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I mean, I don't research it. I don't, know. I can't factually give you that information, but I can say that when we just sit back and watch, there's so much beauty and wonder, but there's also a lot of messages from our planet. It's just like our body, as you do the breath and you really stop and pause and take a moment to allow yourself to really listen within, the messages come. And even with the effort of this whale, this particular whale, it made me kind of stop and breathe and pause, like, what's really the message here? And for me, what I got was, it's a lot about us taking time. Like, how do I feel about grieving? How do I really feel about sitting and allowing myself to let go of something that doesn't serve me anymore, but been with me for a long time, a behavior, a belief, but yet it's not working? And how do I allow myself to really let it go, thanking it even, because whatever that was about, it helped me to become who I am today. Today, in this space, in this beautiful space of living. And I think that, this whale, twice is bringing that message and just carrying her young through the ocean, and then social media just takes it. But it really stopped me about this. All she wants to do is to give life to an offspring, and yet she lost it. She lost that. And I think it also touches me really deeply because I lost a baby, and I know how deeply that affects you, and if it, whatever that loss is. I mean, I'm speaking of a loss of a child, but and it doesn't matter if it's a stillborn, if it's a miscarriage, if it's later in life. It is painful, and it's painful if yet there's this experience of allowing us to really learn from that grief, because grief is a very interesting and powerful word of, well, I want to say feeling, because there's some kind of a doorway that needs to open for all of us. And because this particular whale is being so broadcast, it's like, what is this really deeper message of a whale that loses her second offspring, and now she's again just carrying it through, and just allowing herself to just carry that baby till she's ready to allow it to go. And it's such a beautiful symbol of us, and how do I be in the tender loving care of who I am, and bringing whatever needs to come forth through my new beginning of 2025, but yet allowing myself to let go of this stuff that doesn't serve me anymore. A lot of reflection about 2024, and a lot about what did I learn, obviously, which I shared about when I went through my hip replacement, and that being, as I'm being, because I was doing a lot of healing of my, hip, and what does it really mean to stand in the power of healing. Life certainly has been interesting, and it's only been 1 week, and just, again, I feel like my word about this year, about the vision of what do I want, what do I see, what do I hope for, and how do I manifest it, and being able to, allow myself to even grieve about whatever that Orca was teaching me, and to really check in with my own feelings on that, because it is, it's a very touching, profound experience happening right in front of us, because of the way the world is today. And honoring, just motherhood and what it really means. It takes it's a risk. It takes a lot of courage to step in that, and fatherhood for that matter. But it's really allowing ourselves to really check in with the great mother, this earth. And what is that saying to us? What do we need to do to help support and get it more in line with harmony? And it's not just, it's our body, our soul, our spirit, and who we are, as human beings, and who we are vibrationally. So I just feel very, humble and quiet, and a lot of peace just being in the space of the ocean. I also feel that sadness of the loss of that whale, but I also know somehow she's, I'm okay with honoring, feeling that, and allowing myself to see where it takes me, as she is my messenger, giving me a gift. So I really hope all of you had a wonderful New Year's Eve, and that this year does bring you, brings you the gift of the magnificent you, and to allow yourself to explore this deeper meaning of what it means to be alive, to breathe, to be present, and to allow us to really pay attention to what's needing to be maybe changed, shifted, aligned. But always wonderful to share and speak about stuff that gets, triggered within myself. I am doing classes and continuing to educate, and just hope that you all, touch base say hi, and it's been, and I'm really grateful for all of you that watch and take the time to just listen to what I have to say. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and Happy New Year.